News out of the NFL. According to Adam Schefter, wide receiver DJ Moore is being traded to the Buffalo Bills. From Chicago to Buffalo, compensation still being discussed. The trade cannot be processed until the new league year begins. Josh Allen will get a new weapon. Stephen A., you have been calling for this. I'll discuss my Bears side of this in a minute. Go ahead, your reaction.
I wasn't calling for DJ Moore to be the receiver, but I will say this. He should be very, very fortunate because Caleb Williams is a rising star in this league as far as I'm concerned. And to depart from him to go to Josh Allen is a beautiful thing. That's not a bad thing at all. That's not a drop-off. That's number one. Number two, last year, DJ was targeted 140 times. This year, he was only targeted 85 times. Had 50 receptions, 682 yards, career lows. So going to Buffalo, where they clearly needed another receiver, he should be able to benefit from this move. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Buffalo. Now let's see what the Chicago Bears do in return for losing his services.
What I like about the trade and where DJ Moore fits in is he's a guy that can, yes, get down the field and make plays, but he's also a guy that has catch and run ability. So when you look at Josh Allen and Joe Brady in this offense and what they like to do, DJ Moore gives them another weapon on the outside that, yes, you can line up and send him deep on a post or whatever type of route that is. But there's also the screen game that Buffalo loves to run. Get the ball in his hands early and now let him do the damage. I think what that also does is it takes more pressure off of Josh Allen, where I felt like later on in the season, we saw that version of him feeling like he had to do so much. Getting a guy like DJ Moore with Shakir, he's another guy that does that well. That allows that part of it. We knew Brandon Beane was going to have to do something this offseason at the wide receiver position. To Stephen A's point, I don't think this is the same as an A.J. Brown type of guy on the outside, but I think DJ Moore walks in instantly the best wide receiver in their room and somebody that can help them on offense.
I like it, and I'm not surprised that this is where they landed. I actually felt like Mike Evans was the better choice for Buffalo. But being in Indy at the Combine, the conversations I was having was the Bills are don't feel any pressure to pull off that A.J. Brown trade, give up a lot of draft capital and picks and all that, which is what Howie Roseman wants for A.J. Brown, right? Yeah. They're looking at it like not just adding a weapon, but really how do you help Josh Allen fix the defense too? Look for the Bills to address their defense because they feel like their head coach, Joe Brady, told me another way of helping a quarterback is to get the opposing offense off the field, get the ball back to their quarterback, Josh Allen, so he has more bites at the apple in terms of scoring late in games.
I want to see what they gave up for DJ.
One of the things that I want to mention about DJ Moore as a very big positive for the last 5 years, he hasn't missed a game. Huge. And in his 8-year career, he's only missed 5 games.
Yeah, he's durable. Listen, I will miss him in Chicago, but you have Rome Odunze, you have Luther Burden. We've seen now that Ben Johnson knows how to develop talent. He could do that maybe through the draft. And, hey, maybe we're clearing up some cap space, some money, getting some picks to go get.
You trying to get Shea?
Let's go get Max Crosby. Let's go get Max Crosby now in Chicago. Just wanted to get that out of the way.
I agree with that.
To the NFL, we go here on First Take. Aaron Rodgers appeared on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, speaking for the first time since the season ended. He said his future is still up in the air as the Steelers have not made any offers. He also praised Mike McCarthy, his former coach and new Steelers head coach, and says he has kept in touch with GM Omar Khan. Here is Aaron Rodgers.
There hasn't been any progressive conversations. You know, I love Mike, and Mike and I have kept in contact over the years. I've had conversations with Omar. I really, I think Omar, enjoyed having me there. I think the guys, had a positive response, to our time together. But again, there hasn't been any deadline set on me. There hasn't been any contract, floated in front of me for me to well, we're giving you till, March the 8th to make a decision on this contract. There's been nothing to that respect.
J. Mack and Kmart are back with us here on First Take. And so let's fast forward. Let's make decisions for the Steelers. What is better for Pittsburgh? Is it bringing back Aaron Rodgers or more maybe dabbling in free agency and bringing in a guy like Kyler Murray?
You asking me?
I'm asking you, girl.
Shay, at this point, the Steelers don't seem as though, correct me if I'm wrong, they don't seem as though they want to think about the future.
Yeah.
Like next season and the season after that. Because last year I thought they had an opportunity to sort of figure out what is What is going to be 4 years down the line? Who's going to be our guy? And then they went the Aaron Rodgers route, which, okay. He won them games that just by virtue of from his neck up, just by being Aaron Rodgers, he won them a lot of games. However, this is a team that seems to always want to do Band-Aid moves when it comes to the quarterback. And the fact that they literally are waiting, I don't know what is happening, where they're waiting on Aaron Rodgers, except there hasn't been a contract offer. And Aaron Rodgers sounds like he wants to come back, and he's called himself a free agent, but he hasn't said he's definitely playing in 2026. They need each other. Because we saw last year what the team was able to do, being in that locker room several times last year. This locker room loves Aaron Rodgers, but I just don't think a Kyler Murray. I think that kind of confuses things.
I feel as though Kyler Murray would be a better answer for what you just said. They haven't made moves that bring the future into it. They could have drafted Jackson Dart last year and still brought Aaron Rodgers back and had him a part of the team and had a rookie quarterback in waiting to be able to develop and let him now get forward. They didn't do that. So now you're in the same situation you were in last year. And this isn't a knock or anything towards Aaron Rodgers. I just feel at this point, if you bring in a guy like Kyler Murray, who's only 28 years old, a first overall draft pick, a ton of talent, somebody that's going to be hungry after being released from the Arizona Cardinals, you give yourself a chance to have a dual threat quarterback that you can try to build around, and he's not going to be expensive. He's going to be getting paid $35 million from the Arizona Cardinals, so you can get him on a deal that's cheaper for potentially a starting quarterback that you can try to see what he has. Can he get the ball to DK Metcalf? Can he make some of those same plays that we've seen splashes of in the past with Kyler Murray? Don't forget, this is a guy that's been highly productive when healthy for the Arizona Cardinals.
Interesting. Stephen A., what do you think?
The answer to this is Kyler Murray. But Aaron Rodgers is on my mind. And maybe he's on my mind because I got some stuff to deal with later on today in terms of Draymond Green talking about folks with terrible takes and no accountability and all of this stuff in the media. I'll deal with that later on my own platform and here as well, too. But let me say this. At some point in time, Kimberly, J-Mac, as a reporter, as a commentator that was a football player, are we allowed to say 1 + 1 = 2? I just want to know. Is that accountability? Are we allowed to say 1 + 1 = 2? I think we are, right? Why do I bring that up? So Aaron Rodgers comes on the Pat McAfee show, and we all know how I love the bad man that is Aaron Rodgers. We know how I feel about him. But you're on there praising Mike McCarthy. We kept in touch and acting like people are just, coming up with stuff. When it comes to whatever y'all relationship was like. Here's what we know. The last time Mike McCarthy was seen with Aaron Rodgers, he got fired in week 13 of the NFL season. Fired. We saw reports that the quarterback at the time, which was Aaron Rodgers, was accusing him of being a bit archaic. And in the immediate aftermath of that, y'all, Kimberly, correct me if I'm wrong, 2019, 2020, 2021, the Green Bay Packers went 13-3 each season after he departed. So why would it be wrong for us to say, we ain't trying to hear about that marriage again? When you got divorced, look at the success you had. And whatever Mike McCarthy was then, it can't possibly be better now. Ain't nobody thinking that. So I respect the hell where Aaron Rodgers is coming from. But the fact that Mike McCarthy is there, let him coach Kyler Murray. Let him coach Will Howard. Because it's fair for us to deduce that if it didn't work out with y'all in the end when you were in your mid-30s, why should we believe it's going to work out with y'all when you're approaching 43 years of age in December?
Maybe you've grown.
Is that fair?
That is fair, but my counter to that would be maybe you've grown, you've matured, you've learned things at your various
Some married people.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers has gotten older.
Right.
He's got older now.
True.
So he's not the same player is what I'm saying. It's not like you inheriting him again in his mid-30s. I got that part. But the point is that he's aged, and he's not what he used to be. So when he was in his prime and it wasn't working out with y'all, how's it going to work while he approaching 43 years of age? Is that not a fair question to ask?
It is fair, but we got to leave this here because we have some major breaking news out of the NFL. We'll get to it right after the break. We'll be right back.